Hi, Dyslexic Genius here. I'm back on the Amberola A1 and I'm working on the gear train. And this is an exact example of why we oil our machines on a regular basis. If you don't play your machine a lot, you don't have to oil it very often. If you have an A1 like this customer has, and you say the guy plays 6 cylinders a year on it because he has too many phonographs, that's fine. If you're playing them all the time, you need to oil. So what's happened is this gear here takes the power from the spring barrel off this gear. So this all hooks up like this. Now this bearing takes all the pressure. And you see how this is all rough and ugly? Well, it's fat down here, worn out in the middle, and flared out here. And under a loop, I have my kindergarten picture. And it kind of looks like that. And when I was discussing the bearings in earlier videos, I said, you know, you look at this bearing, I said, that looks a little oblong. I caught it. And you look at that. Well, that's the bearing that was in it, and it's all burred out on the inside. So if you go to the other side of the gear train here on this one, you see this is nice and smooth. And this bearing does not fit on at all because this is all burred out and worn out.
Burred out where?
It's burred out. It's fat at the bottom, skinny in the middle, and then flared out at the top.
Why will the bearing not fit on there?
Because this bearing is worn to this shaft here. So this was all stuck together. Sometimes, you know, when I take them apart, yeah, that's a little tough. But after you clean them, you go, oh, this isn't good. And so when you put on a good bearing, you go, oh, that fits nicely. Then you get over here and you put it on, and this wiggles. This is just like the shaft through the spring barrels. And I talked about working on this and getting the gaps out in a looseness. So now what we have to do is, I'll chuck this into a 4-jaw chuck on the lathe. I'll machine this off. Then all you need is a piece of 0.125 steel, because this whole thing is in mild steel. So you just take a rod like this. This is 0.125, and they're usually a thousandths over, like 126 or something. Then you'll drill this out, ream it out at 125. You'll cut a small piece of steel out. You'll put it in and lock it down in place with Loctite. Then you'll trim this to length, round off the end, polish it out, check it with a good bearing, and you're good to go. If you're at home and you have someone with a lathe, or you got a buddy with one of those mini lathes that are about this big, you can do this at home. But this is unique to the motor, and this is why we oil our phonographs. And that's my tip for the day.